Hello, good day everybody. Today I'm going to talk about one of a watch in my collection, one of my favorite. It is an AP Audemars Piguet Royal Oak 14790, 36 millimeter in steel. It is made in 1994 D series, and as we all know, it's created design-wise. It's created by Genta initially in 1972. It was designed just in 24 hours in a day, right? It was released in Baselworld 1972. It was not called Baselworld, I think it was called Swiss Watch Expo in 1972. And as you know, in 1969, historically, Seiko released their first quartz Astron watch, right? So it is a breakthrough, a new innovation from Japan that creates what known as quartz crisis nowadays for Swiss watch industry, right? So the Swiss watch manufacturer, including AP at that time, is thinking very hard on how to handle the situation, right? So in 1971, AP realized that without disruptive changes, a financial collapse was for sure the future of the company, right? And AP got a collaboration and feedback from Italian market about a possible steel luxury watch, which is at that time something totally new. At that time, luxury watch made in gold, right? Precious metal. So AP decided to work with Genta. So he's a genius designer that we know today with the iconic Royal Oak, Nautilus, Paul Router, right? So he's one of the most famous watch designer at that time. Before creating the Royal Oak, Genta already designed Paul Router, Omega Constellation, Patek Golden Ellipse, and so on, right? So by the eve of 1971, it's basically 1 year before the launch of the 5402, the AP managing director at that time, Georges Gollet, called Genta at 4 p.m. explaining that there's an inspiration from Italian market about steel watch that is a sport watch but beautiful design and with finishes never seen before. So by the morning, within less than 24 hours actually, Genta invited the Royal Oak, right, which will be one of the masterpieces of his career. Genta also designer of another iconic timepiece from Patek, which is Nautilus, 4 years later in 1976. But to me, I like the initial, I like the original, right? I like the Royal Oak that some say saved Swiss watch industry, right? So as you can see here, it is having the gray dial, and there's a petite tapisserie dial there. Is the pattern there. The newer releases, the 15450, I think it is steel in 37 millimeter, has a bigger pattern on the tapisserie dial. I think it's called probably grand tapisserie, right? But I prefer the petite tapisserie on the older model. As you can see here, it has a date window in white color. The latest iteration has a matching date window, and I like that 14790 has the second hands compared to 5402, which doesn't have it. And it has AP logo there, applied logo at 12, and automatic return at 6 o'clock. If we go to the case back, it is a simple closed case back. And this AP use JLC base movement. It's a great high standard movement, but AP not at that time chooses not to expose it. And actually the case is a monoblock kind of case, so this case back you can't open it. It opens from the top, right? Opens from this side, and this is actually how Genta designed when it first released in 1972, 5402. And to open the case, you have to open this screw. And one of the amazing small details in the watch that is, if you can see, the screw alignment creates a circular lines along the bezel, right? So if you see an AP Royal Oak that doesn't have aligned screws, it has been opened by someone, some watchmaker that doesn't know anything about AP. Okay, so yeah, I love this watch. It is a 36mm width, but it wears larger than that because the integrated bracelet design, right? And let me just give you a live measurement. Let me get my caliper. Now let's measure this watch, because I got questions from my followers on Instagram. My Instagram is Classic Watch US, by the way, asking if the 36mm looks small on the wrist, but actually it's not. Let me just provide you a real measurement. And this caliper is plastic, so don't worry about you don't have to worry about scratching the case. As you can see, it's 36.3mm from 3 to 9. Lug to lug, if you measure it, from the end of the case to the other end of the case, let me see that. It's about 47.7mm, but it's actually a bit larger because the construction of the bracelet has a curve that spans that you cannot bend anymore, right? So if you measure between the bracelet and to the other bracelet end, let me make sure my caliper is measuring the right end to end. It's quite larger. It's about 57mm, right? But it is a bit lower on your wrist, so it doesn't matter that much. What I'm trying to say here is that even though it's 36mm, it actually wears larger, and to me it is more to 42mm watch actually, right? I have a Speedmaster 42mm and it wears smaller than this watch actually, at least based on my own experience. So if you have larger wrist, you don't have to worry that if you wear this watch it will look small. It doesn't. It wears much larger. Okay. All right. So now we have the measurement. I just want to show that the bracelet here is really nicely done. When AP first made the prototype in 1972, they made it out of white gold because at that time there's no tool that is capable of finishing the bracelet, the case, this way. It's too hard to do on a steel. So they produced the first one in white gold because white gold is relatively easier to work on compared to steel. And if you talk about royal oak, you're not only talking about the watch itself. You talk about the bracelet, you talk about the case, and let me just put the clasp on. So the clasp is using a mechanism where you pull this side back and it will open the watch. Okay, so this is how it looks like. This is one of my favorite in my collection. I think it will stay indefinitely for now. I don't plan to sell. Few Instagram follower asked me if I'll sell this watch, but yeah, so far I like it. And if you see the patina color there on the marker, it's creamy yellow and I love it. The screws here are actually white gold, right? So it's in great condition, and thanks to a friend, Mr. A in Qatar, that helped me to get this watch. I've been eyeing this watch for quite some time. Now let's see how it looks on my wrist. It's a bit hard to open with my white glove. So let's put it like that. Put on white glove because sometimes it doesn't look great on camera, my fingers. It looks cleaner this way. I'm not trying to be fancy or something like that. So this is how it looks like on a 17 centimeter wrist, right? It fits perfectly. So the bracelet taper down, I think this is about 16 millimeter wide, and if I'm not mistaken is about 23. Let's just provide a measurement. Let me measure this side. Yep, it is 15.4, 16 millimeter on that side. On this side, and again, don't worry, this is a plastic caliper, 23.6 millimeter. A plastic caliper, I bought it so that it won't scratch the watch. Now let's play with the light here. As you can see, the quality of the finishing, the sharp edges, and the taper that you can't feel with your finger even, it's flowing nicely. So it is actually an art in itself, the bracelet and the case. And I like the gray petite tapisserie dial as well, flows nicely. It has brushed bezel, as you can see, and highly polished, what you call the bezel outer side of it. It has polished finish. And on this side, same thing. It catches the light and reflects it differently. So between the links there, it's highly polished, but the links itself are brushed, and I like it that way. I like basically matte brushed finish. The Nautilus, which Genta created after this, actually it's more delicate. Finish with smoother brush, and Royal Oak is kind of brush deeper, and actually I like it that way. Okay, so what do you guys think about this watch? Leave a comment, like if you like this video, and if you try to find one, it's quite hard nowadays. There's some listed on Chrono24, but unfortunately it's the later iteration. So the later iteration has shorter markers with, I think, minute scale around the dial, right? So I like this dial better. It's closer to the original 5402, and there's no minute track on the dial, and the markers are full markers till the end of the dial. Okay, I hope you like my video. It's been great experience to own this watch, and I'll upload more video in the future. I have a few other collections that I want to share with you, and provide measurement and so on. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.